Hi there. Do you know if there are any inns still taking guests in this town?
Doubt it. They're probably all closed. No one has enough Kresnik Kristall to heat their own homes, let alone a business.
Oh, what a bummer.
I clocked you a while back. You adventurers or something? We don't get many tourists in inland Snezhnaya these days.
Why is that? Because of the snowstorm?
In part. But the bigger reason's Project Snezhnaya. Since it's Her Majesty's will, we have to put up with it whether we like it or not. Oh, sorry. I assumed it was common knowledge by now. Basically, the Tsaritsa is planning something big. Something that requires an enormous amount of energy. Even if they used all the surplus Kresnik Kristall in Snezhnaya, it still wouldn't be enough to meet demand. So, the Vecha passed a resolution requiring all factories and households to reduce their energy consumption. The policy has thus been charmingly named Project Snezhnaya, meaning bitter cold.
Bitter cold? So, like, it's gonna be a cold winter, folks? You're all gonna have to find a way to get through it? That kind of idea?
Pretty much. When you're broke, you scrimp and save. When it's cold, you huddle together for warmth. There's always a way to stretch things out to make ends meet. Trouble is, if you stretch someone out like an elastic band for too long, who knows if they can ever bounce back. You know what? Come with me and see for yourself.
Can you please explain to me why the price of Kresnik Kristall has gone up by 1/3 again? Even as our purchase quota has gone down. You only come here twice a month. This won't even last us a week.
The supply and pricing of Kresnik Kristall are based on current production volumes and price data. We Fatui are only responsible for delivery and security. I'm not in a position to explain to you how the figures are calculated, but I assure you, they are as fair and reasonable as possible.
Oh, so our lives mean nothing to you? How can you expect anyone to survive a single night in this weather without heating?
Since you insist on making me repeat myself every single visit, I will remind you again. There is no monopoly on the trade of Kresnik Kristall. You are free to purchase the shortfall from elsewhere on the market.
What market? Nobody else is selling! And when they do, they charge 8 times the normal rate! It's robbery is what it is!
Which is why the Snezhnagrad Veche passed a resolution to support border communities, without which you wouldn't even be able to buy Kristall from us to begin with. So if you're here just to argue, move aside and let the next person in line come forward. Everyone's feeling the cold here.
You...
All right, everyone, let's calm down for a second. A few words, if I may. We're all subjects of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa, and I'm sure every one of us is dedicated to her great cause. We all know how cold it is, and the more it snows, the harder life gets. Everyone's struggling already. Let's not make things even more difficult for each other.
But Liaison Shishkin, there's clearly something wrong with this quota. I have a family in Marepasak who tell me they can buy at least double our Kristall allotment.
Oh, believe you me, I had the same reaction when I first saw the numbers. Couldn't believe what I was reading. I even wrote a letter to confirm the true figures, but... I'm afraid the quota really is as low as you've been advised. Still, you must understand that calculating these energy quotas is a complicated balancing act. They have to factor in population, town size, industrial application. Our top priority must be to keep the largest Kresnik's torch burning continuously. Only then can we sell the remaining Kristall for household use, and in doing so, we must make sure that everyone is treated fairly. As our Fatui comrades said, they are only responsible for delivering the goods. They need to keep accurate records, and they do not have any authority to modify the rates or quotas.
That's right. Our duty is to do things by the book.
Tell you what, listen. I know how anxious and upset everyone is. As a matter of fact, I was just discussing it with the mayor. What we can do is open the lower combustion chamber of the Kresnik's torch to the public. You can come to me directly to register, and I will allocate time slots accordingly. I can't guarantee there'll be ample energy for household use. But we can at least make sure you'll be able to boil water and cook food each day. Let's hang in there and make this work together. All right?
Fine. I don't see any alternative.
So, this is Project Snezhnaya in action, huh? Oh, no wonder nothing's open for business. People are barely getting by.
You were looking for an inn, right? For your, Fae friend?
Oh, Paimon's not a fae. Just Paimon. She must have caught a cold or something. We only just got to Snezhnaya, and we're still getting used to the climate.
I have a small place in Stratomaros. I don't stay there very often, though, so it's pretty basic. But if you're not picky, you're welcome to rest there for now. It's not much, but I've got blankets and a warm fire.
Are you sure? Oh, that's really kind of you.
All right, then. This way. Hello, I'm Alosha. I'm a hunter. Though, if you've talked to any highwaymen, you might have heard a different side to my story. But anyway, let's keep that between us for now.
What's happening?
Nice. Feels like my aim is more accurate. all geared up.
Sweet dreams!
Oh, so cozy and warm. Paimon's getting nice and toasty. Oh, wait. Paimon only introduced herself so far, didn't she? This is Paimon's best friend, the Traveler.
Good to meet you. I'm Alosha. Most travelers find the Snezhnayan climate to be a shock to the system at first. But as long as you keep yourself warm, you should be fine. Still, you should keep an eye on your condition. When people are too quick to dismiss a cold, it can easily end up turning into something more serious.
Don't say that. Paimon's too young for chronic health issues.
They aren't in town right now, and they won't be back anytime soon. The train station has been closed ever since these power shortages began. I do a lot of hunting, so I spend most of my time exposed to the elements. But even the animals wouldn't survive long in a storm like this, let alone a hunter. Nothing to do but sit tight in town until the weather improves. I get that you're in a hurry, but even if the station were open, that doesn't mean there'd be any trains. We could end up stuck here for a long time, I'm afraid. What? Your own train? Wait, hold on. That train? The one that suddenly fell out of the sky and crash landed on the ice?
Oh, we got lucky and found it in a cave. Oh, then our luck ran out and we had a little accident.
Pretty crazy for a random find in the mountains. Well, as long as your train's good to roll, you might get to Snezhnaya after all. I've been doing some digging recently. Turns out, the real reason for the current energy crisis in Stratomeros is that some of the supply is being seized for a private stockpile. But to expose what's going on, I need to catch them in the act. So, I'm heading off to catch a rabbit.
Huh? Wait, a rabbit stole the crystal?
It's a figure of speech. Real rabbits couldn't pull this off. They prefer carrots to Kresnik Crystal anyway. Shishkin, Mr. Positive Attitude, let's all get along now, shall we?
Him? Really? Paimon never would have guessed.
Huh? You're coming with?
Oh, okay then. Just give Paimon a second to get ready. All right. Guess there's no point pushing myself. Paimon will stay here and hold the fort then. Be careful, you two.
Oh yeah, there's one more introduction to do. Tagarin, get in here.
Oh, a doggy. Oh, angry doggy. Oh, Tagarin doesn't like being petted then.
He likes to think he's above that kind of thing. He's my hunting partner, so he'll be joining us when we head out. Carrots aside, we'll need to stay completely undetected. We can't risk spooking our rabbit, or there's no telling which burrow he'll scurry back into. First, we need to find a way into the train station and see if we can find any real freight data. Shishkin's figures can't be trusted. Then, we get Tugarin to catch a scent and find out which way the crystal went. What are you eating?
Oh, check it out. When you're all out of carrots, try turkey. Good doggy. Good doggy.
A fellow dog lover, huh?
Yep. carrot lover. Carrots are great too, you know.
Good to know. Eat up, Tagarin. We got a lot of work to do.
Paimon's just gonna stay here and get some good rest. You guys, be careful out there.
All geared up.
This world is full of unsolved mysteries.
Wait. Nice work, Tagarin. Come on, we'll go around. This way. We'll enter from the upper floor. There we go. A freight list. Straight from the Fatui. So Shishkin won't have had the chance to doctor the figures. Looks as new as the day it was printed. I guess no one bothers reading these unless they have ulterior motives. Yeah, this is all we need. Come on, let's get out of here. Then go track down the crystal. Tugarin's a keen hunter, and catching rabbits is his specialty. Anywhere there's a stove, there'll be the scent of Cristal. That's normal. But if he picks up the scent of Cristal somewhere and there's no stove around, that's how we know something's up. This must be the rabbit's warren. Good job, boy. Sure enough, there's a tunnel. You stay here and keep watch. I'm gonna take a look inside.
Thanks for looking out for us. Things are getting tougher by the day.
No need to thank me, it's my pleasure. Sure as Her Majesty the Tsaritsa watching over us, every sacrifice will be worthwhile. Let's grit our teeth until the blizzard passes. These days of hardship will be over soon.
Maybe for everyone else, Liaison Shishkin, but for you, the hard times have only just begun.
Huh? Who are you? What's the matter?
I just had a question for you. Why, when times are as tough as this, would someone hoard more Kresnik Cristal than they could ever use? All the crates here are from the most recent shipment, but they weren't brought here for sale. Instead, they were secretly stashed away. Would you be able to shed any light on the situation, Mr. Shishkin?
Me? Why, I have no idea. But look at how much there is! It's quite a godsend. Now there will be plenty to go around.
This godsend was found in a cellar adjacent to your residence following a tip from Mr. Alosha. And this is only a fraction of what we found down there. We're still taking a full inventory. The official figures will be finalized shortly. I've always been grateful for your efforts to mediate between us and the townspeople of Sretomaros. But now, Mr. Shishkin, it appears you were the source of the conflict all along.
How could you do this to us?
We trusted you to have our backs. You've been lying to us this whole time?
Hey, I owe you all an apology. I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry. This isn't who I am. Please believe me, this was a one-time mistake that I will never repeat. We all know how difficult life has been since Project Stuja came into force. Energy is an increasingly scarce resource. People everywhere are getting desperate. But some places have been hit harder than others. I grew up in Alatir, a small village with no train station. Deliveries of Kresnik Crystal have ceased there entirely. If nothing is done, they're all going to freeze to death. You know as well as I do how downright impossible it is to buy Crystal these days. The thought of my poor mother and father, with no one to help them. Oh, I felt so afraid. I watched as energy grew scarcer by the week, all the while knowing that their lives were at risk. Then one day, I looked at the Crystal shipment in front of me, and a terrible, selfish thought entered my mind. Looks like I'm just not cut out to be a criminal. I'm so sorry. Once the Fatui have finished their count, you'll see that the numbers match their waybill. I have the official Snezhnayan quotas here. Anyone who has already purchased energy, please make your way over here to correct your transactions. I'll make a batch purchase of Crystal worth 3 months' salary for you all to use free of charge. As for Alatir, I'll think of something else.
You don't have to go that far.
Yeah, owning up to your mistake is enough for me. You've done plenty of good for the community in the past. I'm not looking for a handout.
Drop the act. You claim this was a one-time mistake, but the real reason there's only 1 shipment's worth of stolen Crystal in your basement is that you have an accomplice.
Reporting in, sir. We've conducted a full search of the mayor's house. As expected, we found many crates full of Crystal, half of which were still in their original shipping containers.
This wasn't your first time at all. You've been colluding with the mayor of Stratomeros for a long time now. The train station's currently out of service, but it does open for a short window every time there's an energy delivery. And every time a train pulls in, you're there on site to take inventory and oversee the workers unloading the cargo. The mayor handpicks said workers. Per his instructions, they transport the Crystal by tunnel at night to the mayor's house, and he sells it out of town. But since he can't get the goods out of town by train, he had to arrange an alternative method of transportation. This meant slower sales, which gave me plenty of opportunity to catch him in the act.
Wait, the mayor's involved in this too?
Preposterous. What proof do you have of any of this?
Basic math. I've spent a lot of time lately counting carriages as the snowstorm rages.
Counting carriages? What?
The energy consumed by a train depends on its total weight. And since energy is a limited resource right now, it's fair to assume that every carriage is packed full. So, if we take the energy required for the Kresnik's torch, add the sales figures you provided, then compare that figure to the train's theoretical cargo capacity, guess what? The numbers never match. It's always off by 1 or 2 carriages worth. This time, you set a new record. 3 carriages missing.
You mean to tell me that you sat around outside, counting carriages, in this weather?
I'm a hunter. I have 2 options. Hunt or starve.
Well, I've heard enough. The evidence speaks for itself. Take Shishkin and the mayor into custody and escort them back to Snezhnagrad.
You cocky little brat! Ruining my business! Just you wait.
Yeah, something felt off, so I just followed my gut. Math, isn't my strong suit, though. I'm lucky my dad made me learn enough to get by, but all this number crunching was a million times harder than the aim and fire work I'm used to.
Thank you for your assistance. You're a brave lad. Shishkin was quite the cunning criminal, as I'm sure you can tell. He did all of this right under our noses, and we never suspected a thing.
A wolf in sheep's clothing. He had everyone fooled.
Even with that sob story he fed us. He was probably trying to keep the mayor out of it, not just mask his own motives. Without the compelling case you put together, even I might have fallen for it. Alosha, was it? Tell me, are you really a hunter?
We can go find some wild animals if you want. I'll fire off a couple of shots, and you'll see whether I'm the real deal.
I didn't mean to cast suspicion on your identity. It's just... well, I'm sure you've heard of the Rokot. Recently, they've been recruiting people with your kind of talent. They hide in plain sight under false identities, working against Project Stuzha, sometimes directly opposing the Tsaritsa herself. They aren't a violent organization, and their goal is to improve the lives of the common folk, but still, as a member of the Fatui, I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't keep tabs on them.
First I've heard of this. I don't really keep up with what goes on in the